Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking the time today to attend our presentation of the BounceBack program. My name is Ariane. I am Director of Communications for CMHA Quebec, and my colleagues Matthew and Melissa will be presenting today. First, we'd like to thank CHSSN, an important provincial partner and collaborator in helping us promote BounceBack to the English-speaking community. Today's presentation will be recorded, and so we ask you to please keep your questions and comments for the end. BounceBack is a self-help program offered free of charge to the Quebec population by the Canadian Mental Health Association, Quebec Division, thanks to funding from the government of Quebec. It is intended for people 14 years of age and older with mild to moderate symptoms of anxiety and depression.
Okay, hi everyone. So you can access the BounceBack program in two ways, either through self-referral or by having a healthcare or social service professional refer you. So just note that when we use the term doctor, we are referring to primary care practitioners, which include doctors, healthcare professionals, and psychosocial workers for simplicity. So the first scenario, as a potential participant in the BounceBack program, if I am a participant and I have a doctor, there are two options. You can complete a referral by visiting our website. There you'll provide your personal information, fill out a questionnaire, and input your healthcare professional's details. Alternatively, your doctor can directly refer you to the BounceBack program by filling out the referral form on our website. They will enter both patient and questionnaire information, as well as their own. So that's the option that you see on the left on the slide. Option number two on the right side is if a person has no follow-up with the doctors, they can contact 811 Info Social to access their needs. So if the 811 psychosocial worker determines that BounceBack is the right service for them, they will refer that person to someone who can be their sponsor. In regards to sponsors, Melissa, my colleague, will explain the roles and responsibilities of a referrer and a sponsor shortly. In terms of BounceBack is a self-help program with coaching. It is not a crisis intervention or counseling service. It provides participants with skills to improve their mental health. Due to the growing need for mental health services, you're encouraged to refer your clients to the service offered by CMHA Quebec. It's important to note that the coaches are not part of the healthcare network. They are CMHA employees. Now, BounceBack originated in the UK and has been implemented in some Canadian provinces over the past 12 years. Today's presentation will include two case studies. The first where the participant successfully completes the program, and the second to illustrate the procedure in place if ever a crisis situation occurs during the service period. We will then briefly review the program's clinical effectiveness in Quebec and Canada, and we will finally conclude the presentation with a question and answer period. I will now hand over to Melissa Clark, one of my CMH's BounceBack coaches and QATCs.
Hi, everybody. I'll be presenting the cases. So allow me to present our first case study. It's a 48-year-old gentleman. Let's call him Paul. He visits his healthcare practitioner for a routine follow-up for his chronic illness. Paul's journey has been marked by persistent fatigue, a noticeable lack of interest in life, and a host of depressive symptoms that have persevered beyond the end of the pandemic and the lifting of health advisories. These emotions have understandably caused him concern, and he finds himself standing at a crossroads, grappling with the idea of medication. Despite the weight of these feelings, Paul continues to bravely navigate his life, fulfilling his responsibilities and obligations. Paul's healthcare practitioner had him complete assessment questionnaires, including the PHQ-9, and determined that Paul meets all the eligibility criteria for our BounceBack program. He does not pose a risk to himself or others, is not battling substance abuse, has not experienced episodes of mania or psychosis in the past 6 months. It's worth highlighting that Paul possesses the key qualities that make him an ideal candidate for a self-care intervention: a genuine interest in improving his well-being, a solid foundation of literacy, the autonomy to engage in his healing process, and a commendable level of functioning in various aspects of his life. Paul's healthcare practitioner initiates the referral process for the BounceBack program through the secure portal, conveniently accessible on the bouncebackqc.ca website. This signifies the role of Paul's healthcare practitioner as not only his primary caregiver, but also his referrer to BounceBack. In certain instances, one healthcare practitioner may assume both the roles of referrer and sponsor. This dual responsibility serves the purpose of enhancing accessibility to our services, particularly for individuals who may not currently have an active health follow-up within the health network. To offer clarity on these roles, the referrer is the professional responsible for completing the referral, either independently or on behalf of the participant. The sponsor is the professional who will be providing clinical follow-up in the event of any deterioration in mental health or the emergence of suicidal risk during the program, as well as the professional responsible for consigning documentation to the participant's medical record. This step is designed to be a quick 5-minute endeavor. Following the referral, Paul, or referred user, can anticipate contact from his designated coach within 5 business days. Moreover, the referrer will receive an email notification when Paul embarks on his guided journey towards improved mental well-being. At the onset of the program, Paul may select from 20 different workbooks, conveniently available in both paper and digital formats. This flexibility empowers him to engage in the program on his terms, allowing him to complete exercises in the comfort of his home or at a time that aligns with his schedule. Furthermore, Paul finds solace in the discreet and succinct nature of the phone calls, appreciating that they are designed to be brief, ensuring minimal disruption to his daily routine. In addition, Paul has the opportunity to access a selection of psychological education videos online. Paul embarks on his transformative journey, guided by a series of 6 telephone coaching sessions, culminating in a remarkable transformation over a span of 6 months. Throughout his active involvement, Paul discovered the transformative powers of BounceBack's 5-area model. This valuable framework enabled him to contextualize his emotions, physical sensations, behavioral responses, and thought patterns. Paul acquired the tools to effectively navigate and mitigate negative thought patterns and unproductive behaviors. His utilization of the easy 5-step planner and review sheets became instrumental in propelling him towards achieving his mental health objectives during the 6-month program. Upon the completion of the program, Paul's coach compiles an end-of-program report, which is then emailed to Paul's sponsor and referrer. This brief report includes the results from both the PHQ-9 and the GAD-7 questionnaires. Significant improvements below the clinical thresholds is observed in both depressive and anxious symptoms. To ensure the continuity of care and a comprehensive record, the sponsor dutifully ensures that this report is documented in Paul's electronic medical record or securely filed away in his personal record. Now, let's delve into our second case study. Let's call her Sandra, a 44-year-old woman who meets all the program eligibility criteria and embarks on her journey towards well-being. However, life throws an unexpected curveball her way. During a pivotal telephone session following this unforeseen event, Sandra confides in her coach, revealing that she has grappled with suicidal thoughts on multiple occasions over the past 2 weeks. Recognizing the urgency, the coach immediately puts into practice the identification of persons vulnerable to suicide protocol as defined by the AQPs. Sandra is promptly transferred to the InfoSocial 811 service. Here, the InfoSocial 811 psychosocial professional steps in with expertise, skillfully stabilizing Sandra's condition and carefully directing her towards services and care most appropriate for her specific needs. Subsequently, the coach communicates with the sponsor via email, conveying the critical information that Sandra has been transitioned to the InfoSocial service, necessitating a temporary suspension of her participation in the program. The sponsor reaches out to Sandra, taking the initiative to explore services available through the CLSC, marking a pivotal step on Sandra's path to healing and well-being. After these interventions, it is possible for Sandra to re-enter the program when her situation stabilizes.
Okay, So for the 2022-2023 year, some 100 people have completed the program. 75% of possible cases of anxiety and depressive disorders fell below the clinical thresholds of PHQ-9 and GAD-7 when they completed the program. So these data exceed the PQ, PTM, and IAPT targets of 50%. 79% showed 79% showed a significant reduction in anxiety or depressive symptoms as measured by the PHQ-9 and GAD-7. So this is higher than the 66.9 improvement observed by the IAPT in 2021-2022. And 79% of participants report an improvement of their quality of life after completed program as measured by QLESQ SF questionnaire. Now, real life and experimental studies, as well as programs and evaluations, are available for consultation if you'd like to find out more about the clinical effectiveness. These results led the MSSSS to select the BounceBack self-care program for provincial deployment. And these studies are also available on our website for future use as well.
Okay, that concludes our brief presentation. Thank you once again for your support in helping us promote this free mental health service in your community. Just before we take your questions, we'd like to inform you that we're planning to send you electronic documentation for physician, healthcare practitioners, as well as the brochures for your clients. You can also find these documents on the bouncebackqc.ca website under the Healthcare Professional tab. If you'd like to have brochures in paper format, you can also order them free of charge from the BounceBack website.